Yeah, Bobby is trains completely normal. Is ready. Of course, we spoke to Darwin, and reaction is like a reaction is in these situations. He was very disappointed with himself. Obviously, that it happened. We spoke to him. That the things the centre half did, it's not the only player in the world who is doing these kind of things. So. But look, it's like a bit like that. If somebody makes such a mistake, and you tell them should not do it, then yeah, I know. It's about emotions. It's about all these kind of things. It's not, of course. We never had a situation like this before. It was here, as I know, pretty sure, and that's why I'm not an expert in these talks, because I didn't need to have it that often, but. It was that obvious that he knew anyway. That's not how it is. He apologized, which is absolutely fine. But now it's really important that then he gets. And we told him that it's not necessary to walking through the building, head down, miserable stuff like this. And because it happened, that's it. We are human beings, and we will make made mistakes in our life. We will make mistakes in our life, and then you have to carry on. If you don't do it again, then it's all fine. And it happened once, and it's okay.
Can I also just ask about that as well? I just wonder how ready he is to start. Obviously, he had been ill, he was on the bench the other night, but there's also been these reports in Germany that he's unhappy at his situation and could even leave before the deadline. And has Naby intimated anything like that to you? How would you describe the situation if it either is one?
It's really funny. I always have to. I have to respond on news because. What you would learn if you would be sit on my side of the table, how often 0.0 is behind news. Then we would think, oh, really, what can I believe at all when I read newspapers? So, no, nothing, absolutely nothing. Naby was ill for a week. Last week on the bench, last game on the bench, is full in training, looks really good, all fine, but not a player who's overly happy when he's not playing, but is completely, should not be so, but it's completely fine, everything. Nobody came to me and asked me about anything like that, apart from you, obviously.
Julia?
Jurgen, is there that extra motivation? You talk about Manchester United's position that they're in, but for Liverpool as well, to get that season, to get your season up and running and on track as supporters would expect it to be? Yeah.
For us, it's normal. But it's completely two different games we played yet. I think we say now often enough. We was not happy with the performance in the first game. It's actually our fourth game, because the City game was obviously really good. Fulham really bad. Crystal Palace really good, but special then because obviously of the red card. Cannot remember ever seeing a 10v11 when the 10-man put the 11 as much under pressure as we did. We pressed them everywhere, and that's the most difficult thing to do, because especially in that area and with being outnumbered, so many options for the player, for the opponent. But we did really well. I liked it a lot. So in the start of the season, you want to have results. I wouldn't say first and foremost, but they help a lot. But you need performances as well to work with, impressions to work with. And so we have now a lot of good and a few not so good. And now we go from here. So, and for United, yeah, it's clear. And so you all played your part in, I'm not sure you personally, but it was obviously not nice, not a nice week for United after the Brentford game. We forget in these moments how good Brentford is, to be honest. It was that bad. I drove home. I watched the first half here, I think. Then I drove home and coincidentally listened to Talk Sport, and Gabby Agbonlahor. I know. He lost against us 6-0 when my first year. I couldn't remember him as a mentality monster on the pitch, but what he said about United in that show, I was close to call in. And I was close to call in and tell him, You forgot completely that you have been a player. It's unbelievable. It was unbelievable. And if ex-players go already like this, then you can imagine how everything else is going. So, and now you just have to ask yourself. How would you want to react in a situation like this? And you would, of course, fight back. That's completely normal. That's what we expect. But now the good news is when we play United, it's anyway always the same. So it's always like this, and it's from our side like this. And we are not happy about our start, but we have a few things which we liked as well. And United can change nothing, can change everything. So we don't know. It's pretty tricky for preparation-wise, but it's early in the season and you don't have a lot of information about teams anyway. Crystal Palace played first time with 5 in the back against them. Second time, I think, whenever. We had to go back really long for the Aston Villa game to get a few impressions from that. And so it's tough, but it's fine. We play United away. It was never easy, will never be easy. So we try to do our absolute best.